Join me as I take on the challenge of trying to weigh less while eating more. Can I really make this work? There's a growing buzz in the health and wellness community about the idea that you can weigh less by eating more. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We've been conditioned to believe that the key to weight loss is about restricting calories and cutting back on food. But what if I told you that there's a different way? I've always been fascinated by this concept, and I've been digging deeper into the research to understand how it works. And today, I want to share my findings with you. So, if you're ready to challenge your assumptions about dieting and weight loss, then keep watching. So, what's the appeal of weighing less by eating more? For one, it's a more sustainable approach to weight loss. We've all tried those fad diets that promise quick results, but ultimately leave us feeling deprived and hungry. This approach is different. It's about nourishing your body, rather than restricting it. Discussions around dieting and weight loss can get pretty heated. Some swear by low-carb diets, while others advocate for low-fat. But the reality is, that most of us have tried these approaches and failed. We get bored, we get hungry, and eventually, we give up. That's why I think it's time to rethink our approach to weight loss. I've spoken to so many people who have struggled with dieting. They've cut back on calories, they've exercised more, but they still can't seem to shift the weight. And that's because traditional dieting is a short-term fix, not a long-term solution. We need to focus on making sustainable lifestyle changes, rather than trying to follow some arbitrary set of rules. There's a reason why dieting is often referred to as a roller coaster ride. One day you're doing great, the next day you're binging on junk food. That's because our brains are wired to respond to restriction with rebellion. When we're told we can't have something, we want it even more. It's time to break free from this cycle of restriction and rebellion. The biggest misconception about dieting is that it's about willpower. We think that if we're just strong enough, we can resist the temptation of junk food and stick to our diets. But the truth is, dieting is not about willpower, it's about biology. Our bodies are designed to respond to certain cues, and when we restrict ourselves, we set off a chain reaction of cravings and hunger pangs. So, what's the alternative? How can we break free from this cycle of restriction and rebellion? It starts with a fundamental shift in our mindset. Rather than focusing on what we can't have, let's focus on what we can have. Let's focus on nourishing our bodies with whole, nutritious foods, rather than cutting back on calories. When we focus on adding whole foods to our diets, rather than cutting back on calories, we're more likely to feel full and satisfied. And that's because whole foods are more filling, not because they're low in calories. There's a big difference between the two. Take vegetables, for example. They're incredibly low in calories, but they're also incredibly filling. That's because they're high in fiber and water content, which takes up a lot of space in our stomachs. So, even though we're eating more volume, we're still consuming fewer calories. Fiber is a particularly interesting nutrient when it comes to weight loss. Not only does it help us feel full, but it also slows down the digestion of carbohydrates, which prevents blood sugar spikes and cravings for junk food. It's a win-win. Protein is another nutrient that's essential for weight loss. Not only does it help us build muscle, but it also takes more energy to digest than carbohydrates or fats. That means we burn more calories when we eat protein-rich foods, even at rest. Metabolism is another key player in the weight loss game. When we eat nutrient-dense foods, we're giving our bodies the fuel they need to function efficiently. That means we're more likely to burn calories, even when we're not actively exercising. Satiety is another crucial factor in weight loss. When we feel full and satisfied, we're less likely to reach for junk food or overeat. And that's where whole foods come in. They're designed to fill us up, not leave us feeling deprived. The key to weighing less by eating more is not about counting calories, but about focusing on nutrient density. When we prioritize whole, nutritious foods, we're giving our bodies the fuel they need to thrive. And that means we're more likely to lose weight without feeling deprived. For so long, we've been told that the key to weight loss is about restriction and deprivation. But the truth is, it's about nourishment and abundance. When we focus on adding whole foods to our diets, rather than cutting back on calories, we're more likely to feel full, satisfied, and energized. The turning point for me was when I realized that I didn't have to choose between nourishing my body and losing weight. In fact, the two go hand in hand. When we focus on nourishing our bodies with whole, nutritious foods, we're more likely to lose weight without feeling deprived or restricted. So, how can you apply this approach to your own life? It starts with a mindset shift. Instead of focusing on what you can't have, focus on what you can have. Experiment with new whole foods, like vegetables, fruits, and lean proteins. See what works for you and what doesn't. Remember, this approach is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about making sustainable lifestyle changes that nourish your body, rather than restricting it. So, take the first step today, and start your journey to weighing less by eating more. In summary, weighing less by eating more is not about some magic trick or quick fix. It's about focusing on nourishing your body with whole, nutritious foods. It's about shifting your mindset from restriction to abundance, and from deprivation to nourishment. By making this shift, you can lose weight without feeling hungry or deprived. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Have you tried weighing less by eating more? What's worked for you, and what hasn't? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest insights on health and nutrition, be sure to subscribe to my channel.